Children, today we are going to start the new unit 11, light, shadows and reflections. Okay, so when we move out, when we go out, we are able to see things, but in a dark room you are not able to see the things inside it. But if you keep the light on, or if you keep a candle inside the room, you will be able to see the things inside. What makes the difference? So why we are able to see things around us? The answer is, we are able to see things around us because of light. When light falls on this object, light rays reflect from this object into our eyes and we see it. Okay, there are some objects that always give its own light. Those objects are called luminous objects. For example, a candle. A candle is producing its own light. So we can say that candle is a luminous object. A torch. Torch also producing its own light. So we can say a torch is a luminous object. But you see the case of a mirror, it is not producing its own light, but when I hit the torch onto the mirror, mirror reflects light, but the mirror is not producing its own light. Therefore we can say that mirror is a non-luminous object. So we have seen luminous objects are objects that produce its own light. Example, a candle and a torch. And non-luminous objects are objects that do not produce its own light. It should get light from other sources, like a mirror, and the moon is also an example for non-luminous objects. Now, let us see what is the feature of this plastic sheet. It's a clear plastic sheet. Look here. Can you see this candle and the light through this sheet? It is clearly visible. Therefore, this plastic sheet is called a transparent object. So transparent objects are objects that allow light to pass through them, and we are able to see things through it. This kind of objects are called transparent objects. But see this notebook. Can you see the candle now? The candle is not visible through this book because this book will not allow light to pass through. This kind of objects that do not allow light to pass through them are called opaque objects. Now I will show you another object, another material. This is a butter paper that usually we use in preparing cakes. Can you see this candle properly through this butter paper? Only some light is coming through this butter paper, but you are not able to see the whole candle. This kind of objects that allow light to pass through them partially. That means some amount of light is coming through this object. This kind of object through which light can pass partially are called translucent objects. Now we have seen three types of objects. Transparent. Transparent objects are objects that allow light to pass through them. Opaque objects are objects that do not allow light to pass through them. And translucent objects, they are objects that allow light to pass through them partially. Now, the feature of opaque objects is that opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them, and opaque objects are responsible for making shadows. Let us study more about shadows now. Yes, this plastic box is an opaque object because it does not allow light to pass through them. When there is light, this plastic object, this plastic box will not allow light to pass through them, so it can form shadow on the walls. Let us see how does it make shadow. I'm going to keep the light off and I will show you shadow here. The shadow of the plastic box is seen on the wall now, right? This is shadow. So shadows are formed when light rays are blocked by the opaque object. You can see the light of the torch above, below, left and right of this box, but the shape of the box is in the shape of the box, the light rays are being blocked. So shadows are actually absence of light, right? So we can make shadows with your hand, and you can make so many shapes. I will show you one shape here. See here, shape of an animal here. Same way you can make shadows of different animals, and I will show you a video just now on different shapes of animals made with our hands. Okay. A shadow is formed when an opaque object blocks light rays. It is actually a place where light is absent. A shadow is always dark in color, whether the object is colored or not. Here, you can see a number of shadows in the shape of different animals. These are made by keeping your hand in various positions. You can also try to get different shaped shadows. Next, we are going to see an interesting device called a pinhole camera. Dear children, we can see now how to make an interesting device called a pinhole camera. Yes, using the effect of light, we can make an interesting device, the pinhole camera. You need two boxes. This box is actually the box that we get when we buy a bulb, LED bulb. I covered it with covering paper, color paper, and decorated it. This is a smaller box. It should go through inside it, slightly smaller than the first one. This box is actually a box that in which medicine came, right? One bottle medicine came. I covered it with a beautiful paper, right, color paper. Now how can we make a pinhole camera? The first box, upper box, remove the cover of the box, right, and here cover it properly, fix it with paste or gum and make a small hole on it. That is why it is called a pinhole camera. Small hole is made here, so nothing is there, only one side is here with a small hole, and it's almost empty like a hollow, nothing is there. This is the outer box. Now the second box, inner box, is here also the cover is removed, the top is removed, and here you make a cutout on the cover of the other side. Then inside you are pasting butter paper. Just some time back I have shown you one butter paper. Small piece is pasted. This is translucent. As you know, this is translucent. These are the two major parts of a pinhole camera. Now you insert this camera of the inner box into it, and if this is working in daytime when light reaches through this hole, light rays bend and form the image here, beautiful image. Usually it is upside down image of scenery, trees and other objects, well bright objects, trees in sunlight and other scenery, hill or something you can see which are in sunlight. You can see the image here, and you can see the image to the other side of the pinhole camera. This is actually the property of light is used to here. When light passes through, even if a big object, a big tree can be seen, the image of a big tree can be formed on this screen. This is a translucent object. You can use tissue paper or butter paper is used here. Or if you are not getting a butter paper, you can just take ordinary paper and apply some oil to it will be translucent like a butter paper. That oiled paper also can be used here. If you are not getting a butter paper, if you don't have butter paper, you can just apply some oil on a paper with the cotton, and that paper can be used here instead of this translucent butter paper. Right. This is device. This device is called Pinhole Camera, and you can get a beautiful picture here on the screen, and you can adjust the focus. You can just adjust this. You can push it inward or outward till you get a clear picture. Right. And this will not work in night. It will work in daylight. You can get sceneries, trees, hills, and other sceneries we can get on the screen. And this device is called Pinhole Camera, and I suggest you to make such a Pinhole Camera. You will be getting boxes in your house, and using this simple things only you need. You can get a butter paper or oiled paper you can use here, and this two simple boxes. You need not decorate as I decorate here, but if you do it, no problem. And make a Pinhole Camera, take a photo of it and send it to me. Right, this is a part of your assignment. Okay, so within 15 days, by the 20th of this month, you can submit this. Okay, so now we can wind up this class. We have to complete now a small more portion, then this chapter is over. Light and its reflection. So with this we can conclude. Thank you.